If you want, we can even do a very quick role play so you can see what that sounds like.
That would
So
be
you could be the
awesome.
for sale by owner and I'll be the agent. Okay, so
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
all right, ring ring.
Hello?
Hello, is this the right number for the house that's for sale on Main Street?
Yeah, it is. Who is calling, please?
Yes, this is Loida. Look, very quick, I'm a real estate agent in the area. I work with a lot of buyers and sellers in your neighborhood, so I just wanted to reach out and see what I can do to help you.
Oh, I'm not interested in working with agents. I don't look for pay any commissions to you. I'll try to do it on my own. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So if I did have a qualified buyer that's interested in purchasing your house, what would you want me to do?
You can bring if you have one, but I'm not sure that I'm going to pay a commission to you.
Okay, so you're at least open to possibly having a conversation if I have someone interested.
Yes, as I said, it's for sale. That's why I listed on my own, so I want to save on commission. If you have a buyer,
Got it.
bring one.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Now, I found it on Zillow. I only see like two or three pictures. Can you tell me a little bit more about the house? Is it vacant? Do you still live there?
Yeah, the house is vacant. It needs some TLC, but I want to sell it. I really want to sell it, but I don't want to sell it for peanuts. So I'll just see what deal can I get.
Of course. Yeah, I'm sure that you don't want to give it away, right? You want to get the most money?
Yes, of course, like everybody else.
Yeah, so I know that you just mentioned the house is vacant. It just needs some TLC. So were there tenants living there, or are you going to be doing a 1031 exchange once you sell this?
No, I don't have any tenant. I'm not going to do any exchanges. I just want it to be sold and I'll get as much as I can.
Oh, okay, so you're pretty much just looking to cash out, it sounds like,
Yes,
right? And get the
exactly.
most money for the place.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it. So is the commission really the only reason why you decided to not work with an agent and try this yourself?
Yes, exactly. It's very important for me to sell for most amount of money, but I don't want to put any money into realtor's pocket.
Of course. Have you had a bad experience in the past, or do you just hate realtors?
Um, I just know you guys just putting a stick on my yard and put on MLS, and before you know, you're going to cash up on my sale for doing nothing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, unfortunately, there are some agents, and that's all that they do. But at this point, have you just been getting calls from agents or buyers as well?
I get a lot of calls from agents. I see that on Zillow there are thousands of views, but everybody's trying to lowball me.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know that that was going to happen, right?
Yes, but it's the same thing with the agent. So if I'm trying to sell for 220, that's what I'm hoping to get. But if I work with the agent, I'll have to pay 6% that I'm not looking to do so.
Of course. Now you said the price 220. Are you negotiable or are you firm on that?
Yeah, I am open to any options. Just bring
Okay.
offer.
Yes. Now I see that on Zillow, it's been you've been trying to sell it for about 30 days. Is that right?
It actually has been longer, 67 days.
Wow, 67 days. And how many offers have you gotten in that time frame?
Well, obviously, since I'm still in the market, I haven't gotten any.
Wow, that is crazy. You know what? With my clients that have hired me to sell their home, typically our properties go under contract in less than 2 weeks. So it's very surprising that it's been 67 days and you haven't gotten any offers. Now I'm just curious, how much longer do you think you'll take before you might consider a different approach so you can actually cash out for the most and get this property sold?
Well, to be honest, I don't know. As I said, I am open to a reasonable offer, but whatever it takes, I'll be on the market. But I appreciate your call, but you're kind of wasting my time. I know that you want my listing. Uh, I don't know why people wouldn't leave me alone. If I'm selling on my own, just let me be. I would love to sell on my own. If I need a realtor, I know where to look for you.
Yeah, I get it. And at any point, I don't think I have mentioned that I'm actually looking for a listing. But I have worked with a lot of clients in your neighborhood. And it just sounds like you're very frustrated right now because it sounds like you're just getting a lot of calls from agents, right? That are wasting your time.
Yeah,
And that's not what you
everybody's
want.
calling. Somebody came under pretense, asking they want to see, but then they started asking for a listing. So if you want
Yeah.
to see if you have a real client, please come and take a look. If not, I don't have time for any conversations.
Yes. And do you know why you're getting just agents calling you?
Well, everybody wants a listing. As I said, you guys making a lot of money just by putting a stick on a yard.
Not just that, but everybody, whether it's an agent and especially investors, know that you're not being represented. So, of course, their job is to negotiate the lowest price and the best terms for them. And you did say that you want the most money for your home right now, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, what if actually partnering up with an agent can get you more money in your pocket than doing it yourself? Isn't that something you would want to know?
Well, but is there a guarantee that I actually going to sell for most of the money? Because you all come with the same script, but at the end, 2 weeks later, you will be asking for a price reduction. Then before you know, I have to pay 6%. And at the end, I leave with nothing.
Yeah, Lena, it sounds like maybe you had that experience in the past, but the same way that you are picky about agents, I'm also picky with the clients that I choose to work with. And look, at the end of the day, we might not even be a good fit for each other, but just from our conversation the past couple minutes, you sound very frustrated and you're just going to keep on getting phone calls from agents. And you did say that that's not what you want, right?
Yeah.
67 days without any offers. What if your home could actually be sold by this weekend? I'm sure that that's something you would be excited about, right?
I will be excited, but for me, the most important to sell for the most of the money. If I
Perfect.
put a dollar sign on my house, I know that I'll sell it in the next 10 minutes, but I want to
Yeah. So
sell.
you know what? Let's do this because it sounds like you're at least open to a conversation to see if it makes sense. So look, I am available during the evenings or the weekend. When would be a good time for us to get together?
You know what? Let me take a look and think about, and I'll give you a call. How does that sound?
Yeah, you can totally do that. However, my calendar is getting booked up. And you did say that the sooner that you can get this property sold, the better, right? So look, today is Wednesday. I'm available this evening at 5 o'clock, or if you like, we can meet up tomorrow. When would be better for you?
Okay, we can meet up tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock, when would be better?
5 o'clock probably will be better.
Okay, perfect. All right. So look, we'll get together tomorrow, 5 o'clock. I'm not telling you to sign anything or commit to anything because, like I said earlier, I'm not even sure if we're a right fit, but at least we can go over a different approach that could possibly get your property sold because 67 days, your property should have been sold, 60 days ago. So Lena, what is a good email for you? That way I can also shoot some information about myself and my team that we'll be going over tomorrow.
Well, you do have my phone number because I listed on Zillow. So this is my phone number. I can be reached at.
Yes. How about an email? Do you have a good email?
You know what? You can text me.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I'll text you tomorrow. We'll get together at 5 o'clock, but I'll also reach out to you earlier in the afternoon just in case for some reason your schedule changes. All right. So I look forward to meeting tomorrow. We'll just take it from there.
Thank you very much. I'll talk to you
All
tomorrow.
right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Sorry, I was giving you a hard time.
Oh
But
my gosh, it was
Oh, no, it's okay. I would have kept going.
because that's what I get a pushback. So I spoke with a lady yesterday and she said it needs a lot of work. And our office offers a service that you don't pay anything up front. They'll come, they do all the work and you pay at the closing. So, and she was rushing to her meeting. She said, okay, I'll call you back. And then I told her I've been giving her all the options and she yelled at me that I am trying to just push my way through all these options just to get to sign her contract. Although I didn't mention anything, I just told her, look, by working with a realtor, you actually have a better representation, you get most money for your house. But I just been yelled at and she hung up on me.
You're going to get people like that too. What I like to say also is you don't want to give too much over the phone. So like if you start kind of getting into the mode that you're explaining yourself, now you're kind of losing them because now they're like, okay, she might be desperate for this listing. So if you heard many times I said, you know what, I'm not even sure if we're a good fit for each other, but you sound frustrated. So it comes down to listening to what they're saying and then seeing how you can use it against them. So she said 67 days on the market. Wow. I mean, you guys even saw my expression. I made sure tonality, 67 days. That's crazy. Because then now that might put doubt in their head, like, is this really bad? Like, why did she react like that? And that's kind of like what I want them to feel. And yeah, it's kind of a takeaway approach. Look, we have nothing to lose. At the end of the day, you do want a different approach if it means getting your property sold for more money, right? Cool. So let's get together. 10, 15 minutes, that's all it takes. If it doesn't make sense, we'll shake hands and that's it. But if not, what's the worst that can happen? You can be sold by this weekend, or you can be sold in the next 30 days and not have to worry about annoying realtors calling you. So yeah.
And Loida, again, that was hysterical. That's exactly the phone call. I mean, it was so funny. And there's a few things that I noticed. Loida, number one, you validated everything she said. So she would say something and then I would hear you repeat it and just rephrase it, which I really liked. But I guess my question is, for someone like this, let's say they list their house for $350,000, because what I find is a lot of times they're overpriced, which is very common. So in your head, if you run the numbers before you have this appointment and you realize she's probably overpriced 15,000, is it still worth it to go knowing that she's really going to want it for more money because she's now paying a commission?
Okay, so then what I would do when I wrapped up, well, after I set the appointment, so okay, we'll get together tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Immediately, I will go into pre-qualifying them. So I ask all of the seller pre-qualification questions like, okay, you know, what's the lowest you might consider? Can you tell me more about the house? 3 bed, 2 bath, blah, blah, blah. And if they say, well, why are you asking all these questions? Then I would say, well, look, I'm going to do my homework so that when we get together, you know, I can come prepared so we're not wasting time. Because you don't want your time wasted, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to do my homework. And then from there, if she says, you know, I want 350, once I do my homework and I'm running comps and I see that they're way overpriced, then I'll call back. Hey, Lena, you know what? I was doing my homework really quick. How did you determine that 350 that you wanted? Or even as I'm qualifying them and she says, yeah, you know, I want 350. Okay, great. How did you come up with that number? Because I want to find out what the logic is, because maybe she might say, oh yeah, you know, my neighbor sold for 350. Okay, got it. So I'll write that down. So when I'm doing my homework and I see that she's overpriced, I'll reach back out and I say, you know what? I know you mentioned you wanted 350 because your neighbor sold. Did you know they were actually 1,000 square feet bigger than your home? Because maybe they're misinformed or not educated, or they have no idea how pricing works in real estate. And then from there, I'll go back to the motivation and I'll say, look, when we get together, are you ready to price the home at market value based on what the market is saying? Or are you adamant about the 350? And if she's like, oh, well, 350, if I don't get 350, like, don't even waste my time. And then I'll go back to what the motivation is. Okay, so you want to have a vacant house? You said earlier that you wanted to cash out, right? Are you going to be, you know, taking a vacation, going on a cruise? Like, I try to continue the conversation to really dig deep as to why they want to sell. And if the motivation is not there, then I will cancel and reschedule. And I'll say, you know what, if you really want 350, I don't want to waste your time and go on the market. You said agents come and ask you for price reductions. That's not what I do. Quite the opposite. I would rather us get into a situation where we get you more money, but 350 at this point, you're better off just keeping the house. And I'm okay with canceling appointments and turning it away because I don't want to take an overpriced listing.
Absolutely. Well, again, you don't understand how appreciative I am. I've been one of your biggest fans on YouTube, which I mean, with 90,000, you probably didn't know me, but maybe you did. But for everyone that's on this call, I just in the chat put Loida's links because there is so much value offered, but at the very least, you all need to subscribe to her on YouTube. When you do your education component of your real estate, which everyone should do every week, and that's what you're doing right now, I would take some time and add her on your YouTube. But there's different, things that Loida offers. But honestly, she is one to watch. I am really appreciative. I mean, I feel like I wish that I could get your autograph, honestly, like seriously. No, I've been watching you for years. You're incredible. But this was so much value, and I know that the group appreciates it. It's going to be live in Facebook. The recording's going to go on YouTube for those that could join us right now. But thank you so much.
Yes.
Before we let Loida go, I'm also her big fan. I've been watching her when she was, I think, with Mulrainen. My question to Loida would be, sometimes when I try to pre-qualify to say, what will the minimum, will you take it? And I get the response, why would I tell you? Why would I put myself in a corner? So how would you respond to that?
I think there's different ways that you can respond to that. So if they did say, well, why do you want to know? I would say, well, you said you wanted 350. How did you come up with that number? So maybe like rewording it to figure out how they came up with that number instead of the lowest, because what I really just want to know is the motivation and if they're realistic on the price. If they're like, you know what, I'm not going to give you that number because I don't want to give that away, then it's not that big of a deal. Once you do your homework, if you see that the numbers are off, that's when you do a follow-up call just to get more information.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining Work It Wednesday. If you need anything else, reach out. Again, this information is going to be sent to you with the guide and all of their links and the replay of the video. But this was awesome. Thank you guys. And you guys have a wonderful, productive day.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.